Sure, please.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want. I'm inspired by thirst.
Week 3 of the NFL, lovely day for comebacks in Green Bay. Kelsey dating Swift in Kansas City. Kelsey blocking for Swift in Tampa Bay. Miami points, 70. Denver Broncos missed tackles, 70. Dak Prescott, red zone woes in Dallas. And Joe Willie has seen enough of Zach Wilson in New York. Hello, everybody. This is APBA Brian and the weekly Picks to Post show, along with Keith White, Rob Kinsler, Dan Mattingly, Michael Peterson, and Tim, Cleveland baseball fan. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
We're going to get right to it. We'll start with the Thursday night NFL game. Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. Detroit and Green Bay are both 2-1. Whoever wins, that's going to be top of the AFC North Division. Keith, why don't you start us off?
I was going to start us off with a road team winning here. I'm going to go with the Lions sneaking by the Packers. It's something about the way the Packers played that first 3 quarters this last week against the Saints has me a little worried about. I'm lacking in confidence in picking them. So, Detroit.
Yeah, I was watching the Tom Grossi TrackCast simultaneous show during that game, and he was an affiliate depressed Packer fan, and he was as bad as his team was the first 3 quarters. Rob?
Yeah, I feel the same way Keith does right here. I think it's a low-scoring game. Maybe a last-second touchdown maybe wins this ball game. 21-19. I like the Lions in this ball game.
Dan, I don't know what your secret sauce is, but you won the last 2 weeks, going 13-3 both those weeks. Wow. 26-6 last 2 weeks. You're on a roll, man.
Man, now that I'm here for the show, I'll probably bomb it. So, little luck there in a couple weeks. Tough game to call. Both teams have a lot going for them. I think the Packers, with Bakhtiari out, Jones out, and probably Christian Watson again, those are 3 of their biggest weapons. And, of course, protection for Love. Detroit's got pretty much everybody, and I love what Hutchinson's doing, rushing the passer. Give me the Lions.
Michael.
I gotta say 2 things about this. First of all, Green Bay is home. They're home the 2nd week in a row. They didn't have to travel anywhere. Okay, and it's grass, not cement. Jordan Love impressed me. I know he didn't do much the first 3 quarters, but he found a way. Jared Goff is good, but I think that Love's going to find a way to do it again, and I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers at home.
Tim.
I'm going to take a bad 90s song here. Love will not find a way. Those Blessed Union of Souls, I believe, that they sang that song in the early 90s. No, Love will not find a way against this Lions defense, and I got the Lions winning.
Mm-hmm. All right, Detroit. I like their coach better than Green Bay's coach. They're both good coaches, but I like Detroit's better. Aiden Hutchinson got 2 sacks for the first time this year. He's got a lot of pressures, but that was his first 2 sacks. Dan's already brought it up, but there were 4 Packers missing last week. I heard some of them might be back. I heard Watson was practicing.
Yeah, he's been limited in practice. They're going to probably leave him to a game time decision.
Okay. Jair Alexander, I thought he was going to be back too.
He will be. It looks like he will be.
Yeah. So I think they'll have more of a full contingent. Lions don't have Montgomery, but they got a new tight end at Laporta, second leading receiver on the Lions, a rookie from Iowa, which is kind of becoming tight end Sam Laporta. I like I'm kind of consensus here. I like the Detroit Lions in this game.
Back to Bakhtiari, he's out again.
Yep.
Has he ever been healthy a half a season even?
He's the one that's least likely. I think he's the one that's least likely to play this week.
Gosh, it seems like he's always out.
Okay, the next game is Atlanta Falcons at the Butterfinger Jacksonville Jaguars. They're dropping a lot of passes. Rob?
Yeah, man, oh man, I tell you what, Falcons are always good at home, and the Jags are not the best at home. But this time, they're both going overseas, going to play in England. Jags seem to play well over there. I don't know what happens over there. I know the Khan family owns one of the teams over at Tottenham, and they own the rights to some of these buildings where they play at and all. And for that reason, I think the Jags can't play as crappy as they did this past week. Man, oh man, that might have been the worst game Lawrence has played since he's been a pro. I like the Jags in this ball game, 30-24. I think they turn it around. I just think they win this week.
Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I liked how Atlanta got out fast, but they slowed down too quick. They're not versatile at all offensively. I mean, if they're not running the ball, they're not moving the ball. Desmond Ridder, I root for him. Loved him at Cincinnati, but he doesn't look like he has the tools to be an NFL passer. Jacksonville's just got to put a game together. And they're going home to London, like Rob said. I mean, that's where they've lived for the past few years. So they know how to play over there. They know how to deal with that international flight and get ready for a game. Give me the Jags.
Michael.
Jaguars will probably be one of the new teams that's going to be an NFL team in Europe because they got a stadium problem. They got all kinds of problems going on over there. The only good thing that's going on is they got AEW for a while. We don't know if that's going to be around for a while because they lost another key player yesterday.
Brian, backstage.
What?
No,
Jay Cargill. There you go.
But Anthony Corks is
there's Anthony.
Oh, Anthony's here.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey.
Detroit.
Yeah, we're only on our second pick here.
Yeah, I'm working on Jacksonville right now. And Jacksonville does well overseas. That's why they're going to win. Jacksonville. The Jaguars.
Tim?
Yeah, the Jags should be able to take this. I'll say 2 touchdowns.
Anthony, who do you got for Jacksonville?
First of all, it's Fulham, Rob, not Tottenham. Come on, don't insult my Spurs like that. I like Jacksonville. I just think Atlanta right now is one-dimensional. I agree with Dan about Ridder. He's good college quarterback. He's going to be an average NFL QB. Jacksonville, more complete team.
Okay. I picked Atlanta last week and got burned. Desmond Ridder is 0-8 on the road, and this is kind of his ultimate road trip, so I don't know if that's going to get any better. And I was talking about the Atlanta's offensive line last week, and boy, did they burn me also. They gave up 7 sacks last week. They were a sieve. I'm going with Jacksonville also. Keith?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in Ritter and that Falcon offense. I know that new running back they got is kind of making some noise out there in the field, but I think Lawrence will play a lot better. I think their offense will play a lot better, and I think the Jaguars, like I think it was Tim said, will win by a couple touchdowns.
Everybody's on the Jaguars. Next game up is a good one. It's going to be the latest show on turf, Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
We'll start with Anthony.
You say me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm old and deaf. Be a great game. One thing for sure, I'd take the over in this. I don't know if Miami might regret leaving all those points back in Denver, but the way their offense is clicking, it's going to be a great game, fun game. I think Miami gets it.
Let's see. I guess it was my turn. Yeah, the Dolphins. We got to know Devon Achane. Some people call him A-Chain, but he says it's A-Chan. Between him and the other quarterback, Mostert, they average like 7 yards a carry, something outlandish like that. But that game we talked about before the show, I think it was more about Denver running down and not tackling, and maybe some of them are mad at their coach, than it was about Miami's offense. Some people already put Miami in the Super Bowl and call them the latest show on turf. But if you remember that last show on turf, how'd they do when they played number one defensive teams? One of them held them to 9 points, and the other one shut them down too. So you can beat a fast team. A good defense can beat. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. I said 2 weeks ago that Josh Allen's due to behave. Apple already said as a football player, he's kind of like bipolar. Every 6 weeks, he reverts to hero law, and then he repents and takes some checkdowns. He actually, I think they had 3 players that offered him $100 if he would slide instead of going for first downs. So he slid every time last week and collected off his players. I think Josh Allen's at the top of his game. I think he'll still be at the top of his game. I'm going to pick Buffalo. Oh, I forgot to write you down. You picked.
He took in Miami.
Okay, Keith.
I for some reason I trust Tua a little bit more the way he's playing than I do Allen, even though I respect Allen, and the Bills are coming off a big win on the road. I'm just not sure about the Commanders. But then on the side of Miami, Denver's kind of a mess right now too. So I know that the Bills are home here, but I just like the Dolphins to find a way to win this game.
Rob.
Everything to me points one way here. I mean, I just heavy needle goes all the way over. Buffalo does not impress me. I mean, yeah, they beat a Washington team that I think Washington kind of gave up on it. I don't think this game's close. I don't even think it's within 2 touchdowns. I think Miami may put 40 on these boys, 38-20. I think he buried the Bills.
Tim.
I like that 38 number, but I think it's probably Buffalo probably score 5 minutes left touchdown, make it 38-33. So I got Miami winning.
Michael.
70 points. That's a lot of points. They could have tied the Redskins record of 73. You know that.
The Bears.
It's a good thing this game is not being played in December, or else Miami would have a tough time with things. And since Buffalo's home, I'm going to go with the upset and take the Bills.
That 73 game that you referred to, did you know that was played indoors?
Yes, at Chicago Stadium.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a championship game.
On a not 100-yard field.
Yeah, on a not 100-yard field.
Dan?
Well, I like what the Bills' defense is doing. They're a lot more complex than they were last year. They're moving guys around. They're faking pressure. You saw Howell just be completely discombobulated by what they were doing, showing blitz, backing out. He threw a few really terrible picks. They kind of exposed him. But, man, the Dolphins' early season, it's hard to pick against them. They start off fast. They've got the players. It looks like Waddle's going to be out of concussion protocol. With that offense and what they're doing on defense, I'll take the Dolphins for now. Later in the year, we'll see. The Bills are set to be a playoff team, I think.
Yeah, I'm hearing that Miami's got like 4 of the 5 fastest players in the NFL, according to All right, the next game is we're going from the sublime to the not so sublime.
Oh, Lord.
Chicago.
Oh, the first toilet bowl of the year. Woohoo!
Or did CBS realize that they had a toilet bowl and cut out of their coverage? No, Fox realized they had a toilet bowl and cut out of it at halftime.
I think
it's my turn to start this mess. I do believe Denver laid down on their coach. I think there's some of them that are not happy with the coach and they want to get him fired. You can even just look at the highlights of the touchdowns and count the missed tackles.
Or blocking air. The defensive lineman blocking air.
Yeah. So here you got one team that doesn't want to win and another team that doesn't know how to win. They've lost 13 games in a row. And how do you pick between those two? Well, the only thing I could say is I think the team that's trying has a better chance by a team than the team that's trying to lay down. I don't see Denver putting it back together after a game like that. That's a game that's going to leave a scar. And I do believe they're trying to get their coach fired. When I watched Chicago play Kansas City last week, they got blown out, but they hit hard. There was a lot of effort there. And, there's issues with the quarterback Fields, but he's got some ability. He's got some talents. He had no protection. The offensive line couldn't keep us off of him. That was his only problem.
You like my Giants?
Picking Chicago. Keith?
Boy.
Oi!
Well, let's talk about the Broncos laying down. I mean, that's the Bears' only hope. But I don't know. I think the Broncos will still figure out they have a chance to win this game, and that'll inspire them to put some effort into it. And they'll make the Bears look bad again. Go with the Broncos.
Rob?
Yeah, I mean, look at the 2 quarterbacks involved. One of them's 83 years old, and the other one's acts like he's 15. And I'll take an old man here. I don't think Wilson. Fields. I don't think Fields can read a defense because I don't know if he can count to 11 or not. That's his problem. And he went to Ohio State. That's reason enough. 34-16.
It's not Kent State, Rob.
34-16. I think it's a blowout. I really do.
I think on Justin Fields, I think he has, like he said earlier in the week, I think he has been mishandled. Last year, or actually when he came into the league, he was running all the time, and he ran for over 1,000 yards last year. This year, they only had one design run for him in the Chiefs game. So it's gone the other way. And it's like he doesn't know what to do. They've got him in handcuffs. Yeah. But still, I think Denver wants to get their coach fired. That's why. Okay.
Right. I just think this week Vegas felt them to be a need for them to be favored. So I just went with
Tim.
Great pick.
All right. So My turn.
Yes.
Yeah, Tim.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take. Well, tell you what, the running back and Cortland Sutton and the Mims kid impressed me a little bit. They at least played hard. I'll at least give them that. So I think that will be enough to overcome. And who knows? Fields may gift them something. We're talking early Halloween candy. So give me the Broncos.
Michael?
Oh, my first question is, can I pick a 0-0 game? Okay. These two teams are, for a lack of a better term,
Offensive?
no, I was trying to think of the Hebrew word for garbage. I don't know. I think the Bears fans got to start thinking about their new stadium outside of town. Then maybe they'll get out of all this trouble. I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson because he still has Ciara. Give me the Broncos. Okay, I'll take Denver.
He still has Ciara.
Dan?
Well, the Bears don't have much to show. I think Fields might have got a concussion at the end of that game. This might be the worst game in 154 years of football. If Brian's right that they're going to lay down Denver, I think even if the Bears try, they're going to have trouble winning this game. I like Denver here. I think they have more weapons and probably a better defense when it tries.
Anthony?
I don't know that Ciara is going to cut Russell Wilson off if they lose to the Bears, Michael. But what better way, if you're laying down and want to get a coach fired, is there than to lose to the Bears to get it done? That said, I still don't think Denver's that bad. Denver by at least a touchdown.
All right, I'm back, guys.
Okay. Next game.
Yeah, we leave that one fast.
Yeah. Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. Keith, you're first.
Well, we've never had Tim, Michael, or Dan go first yet.
We ain't had the bottom group go first. We hadn't had Tim, Mike, and Dan.
We went from Rob to Anthony and then to you. So
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and start being the Cleveland.
Okay, Tim. Yeah.
Or Dan.
Go for it.
I will say
Go for
this:
it, Tim.
one offensive touchdown in. Okay, one offensive touchdown in 3 games for the Browns defense is quite impressive. However, they haven't faced anybody like Lamar Jackson yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean that they could hold them to under 20 points? Sure, but I don't know if the Browns can score 20 points. So I'm going to say Ravens 19, Browns 16. And every time I picked against the Browns, they've won, and every time I pick the Browns, they've lost.
They lose.
So I'm going to pick against the Browns.
Michael.
More garbage. Huh?
Wow.
More garbage.
Oh, Tim.
Let me tell you.
No.
No, these teams are good.
Brian, you missed one other big story of last weekend. How many 50-yard plus field goals were made last weekend? An awful lot. Even
That game checked 4.
Yeah.
And a 61-yarder. Okay?
62
That's what I
yards.
think about this game. But the Ravens have Lamar Jackson. He's not hurt. I saw a lot of that game. He played well enough. What the heck is going on with the Browns? They got the Groper. The Groper has got he may have thrown for 250 yards, but he still hasn't found any women to grope. Give me Lamar. Give me Lamar and the Ravens.
Because the women of Cleveland are smarter now.
I think so.
Well, Dan, you get to follow that.
I mean, How do you follow that?
At least
So,
it's not the Christmas show where we sang all of our picks.
Oh, next time. Okay, next week. Browns Ravens, good rivalry. Man, those Browns fans hate the Ravens. I don't think you'll ever see a Browns fan in a Modell's ever again. You know,
close.
it is. So you can't.
Right.
So the Browns, I mean, that defense is tough. I love what Myles Garrett and those guys are doing. They can keep them in any game. I don't really see a lot of punch from this Ravens offense. They're really not able to move the ball outside of Andrews. The passing attack is not what we were promised at the beginning of the year. And without, top tier running backs, it's really all on Lamar. And with a defense like this, they can really focus on stopping him. Give me the Browns.
Anthony?
You hit the nail on the head. Lamar Jackson is the leading rusher on the Ravens, and really the only weapon he has that impresses me is Flowers. Got 21 receptions, having a great season, but that defense. So I think Cleveland is just going to rub out a very close game. That's a Deshaun Watson reference, guys.
Rub it out.
I'm back around.
I think Cleveland's defense will be enough to pull it out.
Dick Roper.
He'll grow up a few enough plays.
Okay, the Baltimore Ravens have a lengthy injury list.
They do, yeah.
Odell Beckham's out. Of course, Robbins is out for the season, and Justice Hills is out. They got two defensive backs out, Humphrey and Marcus Williams. They got two offensive linemen out. That good center, Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa, he's out.
You missed somebody.
Ronnie Stanley's out.
What about Dobbins?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, J.K. Dobbins is out for season.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I used to believe there was a time when I used to put money down on games, and I used to believe that if a team had two players out on a unit, like two running backs or two defensive linemen, it was just too much for them. They got three units like that. I think there's too many people hurt. In Cleveland, they got the number one defense in the NFL. I loved how they were moving Myles Garrett in motion back and forth. Their opponent was trying to block them with two tight ends. So they didn't know what to do. Do we follow Myles Garrett? Or I think they got a couple false starts with that. I'm liking Cleveland. I like what they're doing on defense. And the Ravens, their hands are tied behind their back right now. Keith?
Yeah, Ravens losing that game to Indianapolis. I think Cleveland's probably at least as good as Indianapolis, playing at home, solid defense. That and Cleveland, they kind of shot themselves in the foot in the game against Pittsburgh, and by Michael, I'll see you in a little bit. But I think the Browns will play well enough to win this game.
Did we lose somebody?
Michael.
Okay. Let's see. Rob?
Watson got him.
Yeah. The groper got him. Likes a trip. Took me off my train of thought, but I can get to real quick. I don't know. I think this week's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm kind of with Tim on this one, though. I think the Ravens find a way to beat this team. The Browns, I don't think you're going to see them getting a rhythm this year where they win 4 and 5 in a row. I don't think they're that good a team. Zay Flowers probably 5-6 catches this week, but I think the big thing is I think number 4 is going to throw 3 or 4 picks this week. It may even see a pick 6. 23-21. I like the Ravens in an upset.
So we got 4 of us picking Cleveland, 3 of us picking Baltimore. And I think it's going to be that kind of a game. It's going to
Brownie!
Brownie.
Brownie the elf.
Hey, did Cleveland change their turf or something?
Well, they changed the logo at midfield. Yes.
I know
They-
about
they-
that was last year.
They put
I
grass.
wouldn't doubt they put new grass
Play
in
on
every
dirt.
3 weeks.
They used to play on dirt. Now they play on grass.
You're not wrong, Rob. You're not wrong. They played on
Yeah,
painted dirt.
Yeah, it's same like with Philly, man. Philly plays on a dirt field. I mean, they do. It look like something
Better than playing on concrete.
It look like they play on where the cows been playing. Is what it looks like.
Okay, next game is the 1-2 Cincinnati Bengals at the 1-2 Tennessee Titans. Dan, you go first.
Tough game. Both offenses are struggling. Not going to be a fun one to watch. I'll promise you that. Titans they're kind of a mess, but Mike Vrabel can find ways to win. Hopkins is always tough. Henry's going to get his touches, and the defense plays smart. Bengals, I mean, that was like watching zombie Joe Burrow last night. That was rough.
That bad? Oh Lord.
He's not well.
I know.
You know, they might find a way to win. They've got the weapons to do it. Mixon had a great game. I like the Bengals because they're the more talented team. I think they're more complete. Give me them in maybe a close one.
Anthony.
Where to start? Joe Burrow.
I'm telling you.
He just looks like a different guy. It looks like he went and trained with Zach Wilson in the offseason a little bit. Maybe not that bad. But I think a lot of it is with his, a lot of it is his injury. He can't drive. I just think Cincinnati, like Dan said, has more weapons. Derrick Henry, who that offense has to go through, is averaging 3.2 a carry. And that's not going to get a lot of wins for them. So I think Cincinnati gets this.
Michael?
You know, I'm glad I didn't watch that game last night. I heard it was terribly boring because my man Pat said that. He said it was a complete Dullsville. And I changed quarterbacks because I had Burrow as my starter. Thank God I found a quarterback. I had Jared Goff last week, and I won big. That was even funnier. San Diego, I don't know. I think Brandon Staley, I think, is in a little bit of trouble. I don't.
Whoa.
We're talking.
Not the Chargers. You mean Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, I said that. That's
You
what I'm
said
talking
Staley.
about.
Oh,
This game, Cincinnati and Titans.
Cincinnati.
I think if he doesn't win, he's going to be on the bigger.
Whoa, Michael.
Look at the helmets, Mike. Look at
Michael, the helmets.
Look at the box right above your head and the two helmets in there.
Yeah, no, I say it's the Bengals and it's the LA Chargers.
No,
right?
it's the Titans.
Oh, Vrabel. Oh my God.
Michael,
Yeah.
get your
Okay.
eye exam here.
You got to stay off on the West Coast.
I
Michael.
know. It depends on what I'm drinking.
You know
Depends on what
what?
I'm drinking tonight.
Michael, you drop off for 5 minutes to get a massage and come back and you're
No, I don't need a massage. I don't need a massage. But either way, I think the Bengals will find a way to win it.
But I will agree with you. Staley is in a world of hurt, even with a win.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, Burrow cannot throw the ball more than 10. He had a 140-yard pass. The rest of them were about 10 yards or 5 yards down the field. He's not functioning. But Tennessee, on the other hand, can't defend the pass. So I think he'll play better next week. And the fact that Tennessee can stop the run will not have as much effect as the fact that they can't stop pass. So I'm picking Cincinnati. Keith?
Yeah, everything says Cincinnati except the condition of Joe Burrow.
Except for me.
Well, the Titans only score 3 points. Like nobody can pick them right this week. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Titans are gonna win this one in a real ugly game.
It's a parity league. Everybody may be half the teams might be 2-2 this week. Rob?
Yeah, I'm Keith on this one. I you know what? I'm gonna be surprised Burrow makes it through this game. He went, like I say, he went to a specialist today and got his foot looked at, not his ankle or not his upper leg, but his foot. So he's got leg problems and all over. And if you cannot get weight, and they didn't even say which leg it was, so it could be the other one. So my goodness, I just don't think he can survive this whole season being injured the way he is. Look, if they get to be where they can't throw the ball, they're in trouble. They are in trouble because at least Derrick Henry can run the football. They're at home. Titans 23-19. I actually think they're going to put a few points on the board this week.
Okay.
Look at all that money he's got.
Yeah.
Michael, just to let you know, I won a fantasy league in 2002 with Jay Fiedler as quarterback. So
With who?
Jay Fiedler.
Oh.
On the roof.
Yeah, Jay Fiedler on the roof. Yes, helped to have Marshall Falk at running back.
Was he a Dolphin then?
Yes. And even outclassed Peyton Manning on a Monday Night Football game with 3 touchdowns of his own. But that's neither here nor there. I'll take the Bengals in this game only because Vrabel might be sort of a lame duck coach right now.
You think so?
If they go 1-4 and you got one of the best running backs in the game and you brought over Hopkins for on a trade, you're expecting more than one win in your first 5 games.
And what's Hopkins done?
Yeah,
They spiraled down since they lost A.J. Brown. Losing A.J. Brown was a big blow to him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So most of us are on the Bengals 5-2. Next game, Rams at the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we'll start with Anthony.
That's not the Chargers.
Oh, I know. I know. It's LAR. Yeah.
Yeah, you go.
LAR.
So in this game, I think Staley is going to. No, I'm kidding. we got Minshew Magic last week with Indianapolis.
Minshew Magic.
He is a backup. He's just one of those crafty backup quarterbacks who can come in and get the job done. I don't know if Richard's going to be able to go. They said he was questionable. Both teams a little bit banged up on the offensive line. Stafford has not been taking care of the ball extremely well, so I think Indianapolis pulls out a close one here.
Michael?
You know, Anthony, I kind of agree with you. I just want to know what Richardson's condition is right now. Is he questionable? Is he doubtful?
They've got him as questionable right now.
Okay, so he's 50. He's 50-50. Is he still on protocol?
I'm not sure.
Okay, but yeah, the Colts found a way to win that game last week, and maybe Rob knows. Rob, is Richardson?
Last I'd heard, he was still. What do they call it? It's not out, but what's the next one?
Questionable.
Questionable. 50-50.
Questionable. Yeah, questionable right now.
Well,
doubtful.
Then with that being said,
Doubtful. Yeah, doubtful. That's what he is.
I gotta go with the best mustache in the NFL. Give me the Colts to find a way to win this game.
I got you down for Indianapolis.
Yes.
Start of the game last week was.
I saw some of it. I saw him and his 4 field goals.
Yeah, well, he had 5 field goals.
Yeah, that's right.
Four of them over 50 yards.
That's right.
Justin Tucker.
Gay man.
Remains in concussion protocol, and he's got to be cleared out at least 3 days before he. So
I'll take the mustache in football.
Doesn't look like he'll start. So
I'm thinking Indianapolis too. Minshew had a good game. I think Matt Gay was the one who won that game for them. Jonathan Taylor is still up in the air, but Zach Moss has got 210 yards and 4.4 yard average, so he's filling in nicely. I like watching the Rams. I like this Puka Nacua, and I like Tutu Atwell. He's fast, number 5. On the Rams. That guy is really fast. But Stanford didn't get much protection last night, and that offensive line is not very good. I think Avila, that they drafted from TCU, is doing a fine job, but they still need a lot of work on their offensive line. I'm down with Indianapolis Keith?
Yeah, this is almost one of those decide or die games for me, but
I have one of those.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually go through and make a prediction. The Rams, they played well against Seattle. They won that one up there, and then they played relatively close to San Francisco compared to the other opponents that the 49ers have played. And then they tried their worst game of the season so far there against the Bengals to lose to that one. I mean, that was a game that if they were going to win on the road, they should have won that one. Colts are playing good enough football right now to give me a little confidence in them. I'll go with the Colts, and I think I'm going to think about growing a mustache just so Michael can rate it, because I mean, he's someone that has a taste for mustaches.
Okay, Rob.
Meow. Yeah. Colts are at home. The Rams, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. I liked them early in the year, but right now, last night they had no idea where they were going with the ball, throwing the ball, running the ball. 28-24. I like the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Colts in this one only because, hey, the Rams are terrible.
Enough said.
Honest answer.
Well, I like what the Colts are doing. I think Moss is getting the career revival that he's been looking for since he kind of flamed out in Buffalo. And man, other than the two young receivers, what can you really be excited about on the Rams? Aaron Donald, he's still a force, but he's not going to do it by himself. And I really think Michael Pittman is having a breakout year so far.
Okay.
Are you with the Colts?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Everybody went with the Colts?
Everybody went to the Colts.
Wow, that's dangerous.
That's very
We're
good.
losing that for sure.
Okay, next game is an important NFC South game. Tampa Bay Bucks at New Orleans. Both teams are 2-1.
Oh boy.
Michael, I think you're first.
Yeah. What? I saw the first few minutes of that game of the Eagles. I feel sorry for these early referee games, man. You got some really crappy games. I think the 4:00 window is the better window. I think even the Jags game in London, maybe that's why they went to London to play some football. Oh my goodness. David Carr is out. And Baker. What is Baker doing? He kind of not impressed me last night. But the better defense I think, is Tampa Bay. And you got the loud crowd at the Superdome, or the Mercedes-Benz Dome as we call it now. But I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I'll take Tampa.
Okay. All right.
The Buccaneers.
New Orleans was up 17-0 over Green Bay, and they were kind of rolling along, and then Derek Carr got bounced off the turf, sprained shoulder. I don't think it's as bad as they originally thought. I think he's definitely out this week, but maybe return sooner than they thought. Now, they did get back Alvin Kamara this week at running back.
Oh, yeah, the suspended one. I forgot about it.
He's back. New Orleans' defense is number 6 in the NFL, where Tampa's number 9. That's about a wash. That's pretty close. Well, I think that secondary for New Orleans is going to give Baker Mayfield a lot of trouble. I am picking New Orleans. Keith?
Yeah. The Saints defense might be, a good enough unit to win this game, even without Carr out there. But I think Mayfield will kind of straighten things out a little bit better here indoors. Maybe get Evans involved with some creative routes, maybe not real deep, but maybe some short stuff. And they'll find a way to win by at least by a field goal in this game. And I don't know which dome is the Mercedes-Benz Dome anymore. It used to be New Orleans. Now I think it's in Atlanta. So I don't know what the Superdome is called.
Rob?
2 words. Jameis Winston. Bucks
To
23.
me, yes,
Saints,
I forgot about him.
Bucks 23. Saints 20.
There you go.
Tim?
I'm looking up the. It is now the Caesars Superdome.
Caesars?
Caesars.
Oh,
Skeezers. Skeezers. SKEEZ.
No, like
Like Julius?
Ghost. I don't know what it is. Only because there's one weirdo game I kind of have to pick. I guess I'll go with the Buccaneers.
Yay.
Dan?
Well, nobody trusts Jameis Winston. He's either going to make the best play on the field or he's, going to throw a pick. Kamara came back. They found out, and this was one of the funniest things of the offseason. He fixed himself and his burst because he found out his right leg was like 2 pounds heavier than his left leg. So they fixed that. So Alvin Kamara will be back to his old self.
What, fumbling the ball?
Yeah, exactly. Tampa Bay, they looked pretty bad last night, and I really like the Saints defense. Baker's floating balls, the one drop that Evans had in the end zone, it should have been an easy touchdown. He's not able to use the guys, the way that Godwin and Evans should be used. They don't have much of a running game, in my opinion. I think the Saints defense will win it for them.
Okay, Anthony?
All I know is I'm going to use that 2-pound leg excuse next time my wife asks me to take out the trash.
Good one.
Again, New Orleans losing Jamal Williams hurts. I mean, I know they get Kamara back. Taysom Hill was a leading rusher right now for the Saints. And Jameis Winston's playing quarterback. I think Baker Mayfield is due to have an epic bad game as well. So I'm going to go against my better judgment. Oh, God. And I'm going to agree with Michael. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Are you going Tampa?
Tampa.
I am.
So we are 5-2 for the Buccaneers.
I wonder if they're going to wear their new uniforms.
They are, but not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are all.
Yeah.
My nephew's a big Buccaneer fan. He can't wait to see them.
What, the creamsicle jerseys?
Yeah.
Well, it took him about 5 years to get NFL-approved equipment for it.
Yeah, I know. Oh, here we go. Another one. Oh, God.
Commanders and Eagles.
Joy.
I think I'll go first on this. Washington gave up 9 sacks last week. It might be 90 sacks this week against the Eagles.
It's going to be the bad 3-hour tour for Sam Howell.
Oh, man. They spent all preseason, in the early season,
M. Howell the fourth.
Okay, the enemy's teaching him to hold on to the ball, extend plays, and throw it downfield. And that led to 9 sacks last week. So I don't know how many sacks it's going to lead to this week or if he's going to change his approach with Sam Howell. But Jalen Carter of the Eagles is kind of turning into a star. I really had doubts about him when he was drafted. He let his weight go. He had behavior problems. But I think the Eagles knew they had veterans who could kind of put him under his wing, and it looks like it's really working because he's playing really well. And then DeAndre Swift that they got from the Lions, I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the league in rushing this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're running him, and he's going guns blazes. He's a powerful little runner. He's in shape. Did you see his dad doing push-ups with 25-pound weights?
Mm-hmm.
His dad owns a gym in Philadelphia, and so I can see where it comes from. I'm picking Philadelphia in this game.
Yeah, I don't know if Bieniemy's got an offense for this defense, but especially with the way that Hall's getting sacked. Got a bunch of Georgia guys on that side of the line. Yeah, I don't expect Washington. I don't think they'll be held. Their offense be held down as much as they were against Buffalo, but I do think the Eagles will win by about 3 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, Nolan Smith from Georgia got a big sack last week. Rob?
44 and a half to over under, but the Eagles probably hit that themselves.
Yeah, that many themselves.
38-17. This gets really rough. 3 touchdowns exactly. I'm with you, Keith. 38-17 Eagles.
Tim?
Yeah, like I interrupted Sadly Brian before. This will be Sam Howell's bad 3-hour tour. Yeah, give me the Eagles big.
Dan?
Yeah, Washington's going to have to start thinking about benching Howell after a sack limit in this one. It should get ugly, and it's going to get ugly pretty quick, I think. Eagles can run on them. Eagles can pass on them. And the Commanders can't really do anything to that Eagles defense, in my opinion. Give me the Eagles.
Anthony?
I'm logging into DraftKings right now to take the Eagles on that over. I know that. Yeah, Washington, Sam Howell's not going to be the answer. And I think the reason, too, Swift is having such a good year, teams have to still respect Jalen Hurts pulling the ball and coming out backside. It takes away a defender from the box. So I just think too many offensive weapons and too great a defense. Big Eagles win for sure.
Michael?
Who's the backup to Sam Howell?
Jacoby Brissett.
Oh my God! He might be in the game by the beginning of the second quarter. Oh my goodness!
They may call it brisket then.
Oh my goodness! I think that the Eagles are going to run for almost 200 plus yards, and Hurts is probably going to be close to 100 yards. Give me the Eagles, big time.
Everybody's on the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Yippee. Yippee!
Are you saying the Fox broadcasters may be busting out their old stories by the third quarter?
Washington
busting out their Chuck Bednarik stories.
I had to give Washington. You got to give Washington something.
Or the Valley stories, or the.
Yeah, supposedly Bednarik knocked Frank Gifford out for over a season with a hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two-way player.
The infamous photo of him pointing at him on the ground.
Yep. Washington's got a good defensive line. I don't know. I think the Eagles will have success running, but they're working on their passing game. And I think they're going to have some success passing as well. Next game, Vikings at the Panthers.
Oh gosh, the Panthers are struggling. Are going to win, and I don't know. Is Andy Dalton starting again down there, or is
Yeah. Andy Dalton starts.
But the Vikings don't have a win.
Neither do the Panthers.
However,
Both teams are 0-3.
Cousins, as I remember seeing last night, his quarterback rating's pretty high. It's just, I don't know. They don't have much of a running game, I don't think, in Minnesota. I don't know if it'll matter in this one. Vikings will probably squeak one out here by about 5.
Ron?
Yeah, I like the Vikings 5 + 10. 31-16. I like them by 15 points. They throw 4 bills this week. He's throwing good. Like Keith says, they might not get 30 yards rushing the whole game, but they'll throw the ball all over the park on them. Yeah, it's going to get messy. 31-16.
So I think Andy Dalton might want to go hold the clipboard in Buffalo to score a hero there. No, Vikings get their first win of the season. Carolina gives the Bears some run for worst record.
Dan?
Well, this one hurts because Carolina did give up that first-round pick to get Young. he hasn't looked very good, and C.J. Stroud's looked okay. That's a tough pill for the Panthers fans. They've been kind of on the struggle bus since Cam Newton fell off a cliff. The Vikings, Kirk Cousins is on pace to throw for 6,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson. What's that?
They throw just about every down.
They do. Well, you would too if Alexander Madison was your running back. I mean, that guy.
You beat me to the punch.
Right. So yeah, not a lot of options to run it. They'll pass it everywhere. Jefferson's on pace to break the receiving record, and if they pass as much as they do, he may very well do that. Vikings in an easy one.
Anthony.
Yeah, I don't know what was worse for my Vikings, letting Dalvin Cook go to where he has to suffer in New York, or keeping Madison as a starter. Kind of a toss-up. Cousins is playing really well. He's got good weapons. Obviously, Jefferson and the USC rookie Addison is having a good season. So I think they can get by throwing the ball like old school San Diego, and they should win this game easily and get a win finally.
Michael?
Oh, Kirk Cousins is playing beautifully. He throws well. I just want to see Justin Jefferson doing his flying when he scores a touchdown. He's got one of the best ways to do it. Carolina, wow. I feel sorry for the announcers in this game. It's going to be a long, boring game. Give me the Vikings. I think they may shut out the Panthers.
There's a guy on the internet who does college games, and he has a letter acronym that he likes, YSIO. Your season is over. The Minnesota Vikings, I think it's YSIO. Their season's over. I think karma is a real thing. As we talked about last year, they were 11-0 in one-score games. They're losing those games this year, and they're losing it in dumb ways. Last week, on that last drive, they get down. They're driving for the winning score at the end of the game. They got 32 seconds left. All they had to do is spike the ball and stop the clock. And there was chaos. They tried to run a play. They ran it down to 13 seconds and threw a pick in the end zone. They should have spiked the ball. They would have had 3 more shots at the end zone and some time to think about what they were doing. And then the coach gets up and blames the crowd. He blames the home crowd, saying that Cousins couldn't hear in his ear the play call. That's why you saw them scrambling on the field. Don't blame the home crowd. They're people paying, those guys are paying their salary. So I think Kevin O'Connell's got a lot to learn, and this is going to be a tough learning season for the Minnesota Vikings, who I think their season's over. Well, that being said, the Panthers are in even worse shape. I got to pick Minnesota in this game. Minnesota.
Brian, you've heard the whole acronym for what JETS stands for.
What is it?
Just end the season.
Just end the
season. Have you got to games in order right now, Brian? Harris just sent me his picks. He said a tree fell over and they're not going to get electric back. So, what was your first game?
Rather than take time, just email me those and I'll include them on the show.
I got tree.
Okay. A tree
fell over? I will say this. He picked Washington to beat Philly.
Wow.
Old strategy.
Yes. That happens, I will bow down to him.
How about this? He picked the Panthers to beat the Vikings too. So, and let's see.
That tree probably fell over after he made those picks. That's why.
I'm hoping it didn't fall over on top of him as well.
I was just going to say, Rob, maybe we need to do a wellness check on Harris.
Yeah, maybe we need to do a wellness check with Harris. Yeah, I do see that he picked. Oh yeah, everyone picked the Colts, but Harris he picked the Rams.
Harris is okay. I understand there are upset, like it's a parity league, but oof.
Yeah, he picked them. He sure did.
It's a parity league.
So I can whoever wants them, I can let you have the picks. He sent them to me otherwise.
Is it for some teams like the Bears? It's parity with a D.
ODY, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Rob, next game is Pittsburgh and Houston.
I'll tell you what, Houston has got an offense. Like Dan said, Stroud can play. But defensively, man, oh man, is there a better defense than the Steelers right now with Watt and all those crazy guys? They're just all over everybody right now. They're going to have a winning record, and I'm not sure they're going to have 15 touchdown passes a whole year with this kid because he's just having a rough year. That being said, Stroud is going to have a decent game, but right at the end, the Steelers are going to find a way to win it. 23-21 Steelers.
Tim?
I would take a little bit of a mild upset in here. You wonder if this is the week that Tomlin's been sitting there. We need to find our offense. We need to find our offense. Our defense has been playing great. We need to find our offense. I think it's going to go missing for another week. I'm going to pick the Texans.
Dan?
I went back and forth on this one. Love the Texans offense. They've got some pieces on defense, but it's not a complete unit. Pittsburgh, man, like you said, Rob, between Watt, Minka, that kid Highsmith is tough. 54 there, 44. Their linebackers are world class. This is going to be a back and forth. I think a rookie quarterback, even one that looked as good as he did last week, is going to struggle with this Steelers defense. Give me the Steelers.
Anthony?
Yeah, I agree. Pittsburgh is winning on defense right now and just taking care of the ball. And I think they'll throw some stuff out there that'll give the quarterback a problem. And I think Steelers win this 7 to 10 points.
Hold on. We couldn't really see that, Rob.
It's in right here. Hold up a second. I have some of those backwards. Going to resend in a minute. I was thinking,
Michael?
I have another thought in my head on that. The Steelers played Sunday night, so I don't know if they're going to be ready enough to travel down from Vegas to Houston. They might be tired, and
They had to stop in Kansas City.
Yeah, that trip was a road trip from hell. They spent 12 hours on a plane from 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that
and they never got off the plane. They just sat on the
that to
plane.
me is a problem. I someday the Texans will do well again. Is it this week? I think it is. I'm taking the Texans.
Remember, they have won a few playoff games in there. Or actually, no, have they won a playoff game?
3 years.
Yeah.
With the
They won a playoff game when they faced the Chiefs.
Until they face the Chiefs.
That first
Deshaun Watson was the quarterback.
That first email I sent you, you can delete that one because he said he's going to redo his picks.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
All right, Pittsburgh's got 3 players on their defense that are as good as any 3 players on any defense. Highsmith, Mika Fitzpatrick, and J.J. Watt. Watt's got 2 sacks, two tackles for losses, 3 quarterback hits.
TJ.
Yeah, T.J. Watt. But I do think the plane trouble is kind of a problem. I mean, it may have cost them a day in preparation on the short week, and that could be a problem for them. C.J. Stroud has been outstanding. Really, he's 906 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's a ball placement specialist, and he doesn't get flustered. I wish he had. He's got a pretty good offensive line. Now, 2 weeks ago, he got sacked pretty good. Last week, they were better. I think Houston's going to pull the upset here. They need to get the running game going. We've not seen enough of Damian Pierce, and I don't think much of Singletary, their other running back they got from Buffalo. But Pierce has got ability. They just haven't got him started yet. Also, you talked about last week, Rob, where's Will Anderson Jr.? He's got 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. He does have 5 quarterback hits, but I think he's not yet plugged in like he's going to be in the future quite yet. But I'm picking Houston in the upset. Keith?
Yeah, what Dan was saying was pretty much what I was going to say. And The only thing is, Steelers quarterback isn't real experienced. I mean, it's what, his second year. But I just kind of wonder if this isn't the kind of game right here where maybe Stroud is going to be up against a defense that's going to have a lot of talent out there, and they might show him a lot of looks that could confuse him at them, or maybe not confuse him, but at least cause him some problems. And I look for the Steelers to find a way to sneak one out here.
Okay, next game is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Brendan Staley Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
Who's first?
Is it you, Tim?
Let me go because I want to get the pick out of the way so I can listen to Michael rant about Staley.
Oh,
I think Garoppolo, I don't know how steady he'll be. He's thrown 6 picks already, too. I think the Chargers actually get this one. So I'll let you run from there, Michael.
oh, run. What's his status? I heard he's in concussion protocol. Am I correct?
Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can't find his helmet. Okay. He can't find his helmet. That's his problem. He may be the good-looking guy in Vegas. He bought himself a big fancy house and whatever, but he still can't find his helmet. That's the
Does
problem.
he have a mustache?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, shoot.
That's the problem.
But
Yeah.
LAC, man, they're in trouble. I don't know. They got some good receivers. They got some good players. They got Bosa. They got another couple of good defenders. I don't understand that. I don't understand this. It really bugs the crap out of me. But I'm going to take LAC anyway. I'll take the Chargers.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah, for now. I got something even better. I got even something better than that.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Brian's going to love this story because it involves your team.
Right. Chargers going for it with 4th and 1 on their 25-yard line was a classic Brendan Staley move.
Yeah.
And, of course, they failed. They lose Mike Williams for the season. It's a big loss. I was kicking myself last Sunday for picking the Vikings over the Chargers because the Vikings usually go with 2 small guys in the secondary and they can't cover big receivers. And here comes the Chargers with the biggest receivers in the league, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Now to take Mike Williams' place, they got Quentin Johnson, another big receiver. So I think he'll step in and somewhat pick up the slack. But look at Keenan Allen. He had 18 catches, 200 yards last week. Plus he threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
He just year after year he just rolls right along.
Sorry, dear.
Max Crosby, he's not one of my favorites, but he's a great player. He would fit in with the old Raiders. I kind of think he's a little bit of a dirty player. I've talked about this before. He gets close to the quarterback, and he will for sure hit him. He'll put his hand on him. He'll just do whatever. Let the quarterback know he's there. And Mahomes hates that. Yeah. So I'm really interested in seeing the next Chiefs-Raiders game. I don't see Brian saying lasting through the year. I think at some point he's going to get fired. But I think they're going to beat the Raiders this week. I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah. Is Eckler ever going to come back? Is he week to week? What's going on with Eckler?
Austin Eckler, I have not heard.
He's not holding out.
Austin Eckler injury.
With Herbert throwing for 400 yards a week, I'm not sure they missed
Injury report.
The Chargers probably an underachieving team, and I've listened to the issues with Staley, and that's been going on a couple of years. But the Raiders still, to me, just seem to be one of the bigger messes in the AFC. So I will go with the Chargers.
Yeah.
Did you already say? Me?
Yes. Yeah.
Chargers still got that same quarterback, but he's better than Garoppolo. Garoppolo's too busy chasing porn stars. Yeah, I'll take Chargers 26-23.
Tim?
And who knows? This might be the good streak for the LA Chargers. I don't trust that the
That whole division
Raiders will do anything. So
except for
the Chargers to win.
Dan?
So I mean, the Chargers are the better team. They've got players all over the place. Staley. I mean, this is like the dumb coach bowl, in my opinion. You really can't beat it for like comedic value. Last week we had a 4th and 2 where one of my buddies was trying to argue with me. It's the better thing to do analytics wise. Not if you run a fullback dive into 9 people. That's not a good play.
Yeah.
The analytics should reflect the play that you run sometimes. And man, that was a bad play. So Staley's going to probably cost the team games until he's fired. Herbert looks like he is up with Moore's offense. I know they're missing Mike Williams for the rest of the year, but they have so many guys that they're going to be just fine. The Raiders, they kicked a field goal and still needed to score a touchdown in the last game.
The math was a little off there.
What's that?
Yeah, their math was a little off there.
That was rough. Yeah, Josh McDaniels, Brandon Staley, dumb coaches, both Chargers win.
Like Kirk Cousins says, there's 3 kinds of people who do math: those who can and those who can't.
And the other ones they don't. And the other ones they don't care.
All right, next game.
Hey, Michael, can you kind of make a, with Garoppolo's with porn stars is what Rob is reporting here. Is there a way you can tweak the Garoppolo name into put a groper in there somehow?
No. The groper will always be Deshaun Watson because he got caught.
Is it pants now?
I think I'll go ahead and start with this one. Boy, the Cowboys sure got embarrassed when I think the rest. Oh, by the way, the rest of the country is going to turn off that embarrassing Chiefs-Bears game, and you're on TV.
Yeah.
Oops, maybe we should have actually showed up.
Yeah,
they'll show up this week. I think the Cowboys by at least 20 points.
Yeah, I agree. Cowboys will be motivated to get back. Yeah, the defense didn't look right, but they've got a lot of guys there. They can make it work. My concern for Dallas is they just don't have another receiver. They have CeeDee Lamb, and nobody else is really catching the ball.
I just don't understand why Noah Brown's like a 6th-round pick from Ohio State didn't do anything at Ohio State. Still is on that team.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me. They haven't filled that position group out at all. But the Patriots score less points every week. It's wild what they're doing over there. The Pats had 15 against the Jets. I know the Jets have a good defense. Man, that's a tough one. Give me the Cowboys.
Before Anthony picks, are the Patriots going to have to old yellow Belichick?
Probably.
Is Hackett their offensive coordinator now?
No, he's with the Jets.
Yes.
Oh, the Jet. Oh,
yeah. The Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator with the Pats, and it's not looking pretty. But I mean, they don't have anybody to throw to either. They have less weapons than the Cowboys. At least the Cowboys have Lamb and Pollard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I briefly contemplated picking this as an upset special, just based on the fact that Trayvon Diggs made a big impact on the Dallas secondary by not being there.
Yeah.
But better judgment wins, and I think Dallas is going to come back pissed off. I mean, it was great for people here, even though 70% of our stadium was full of Cowboys fans.
You mean just like
People
last
on
Vegas?
people on Facebook here in Phoenix are marking themselves safe from having to hear about them boys for the next week. So I think Dallas is going to build on that and come out and crush New England.
That's probably the real reason Harris isn't here. He probably knocked that dang tree over, so he didn't have to come.
You probably cut it down for chainsaw.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, Jerry, you're a hero down here. You guys know that Bill is trying that trickery. The guy going in motion and make sure he doesn't go over the line to block the kicker.
Who, Bill Belichick?
Yeah, Bill, double B.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, once.
That's all it's been done once. They did it in the college game last week. The guy, one of the outmen, is lined up near the sideline, and the kicking team thinks he's not going to be involved. Meanwhile, while they're getting ready to snap the ball, the guy is in motion, and then they snap the ball. The first time it happened, they blocked it. I think all these other teams are going to be doing that. That's a Bill Belichick move, okay? Mike McCarthy, he's got this beard on, you know? He's got this freaking beard on, you know? How many penalties they have last week? Didn't they have a ton of penalties last week?
Is it all the
See how
beard?
many penalties they had.
No, I'm saying McCarthy.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had they had
11.
oh,
Almost said
Lord.
Grow a beard?
Oh, you know what?
It's still a lot.
In my reality, who's the smarter coach, Mike McCarthy or Double B? Let's go with Double B because he's got more rings than Mike McCarthy. Give me the Patriots.
Actually, the Cowboys had. Well, okay. If it was 11 accepted, I'll take it. But it was
How many?
Yeah.
What, once or twice? McCarthy has. He's got 2 rings, and Double B's got 6.
McCarthy's only got
That
one.
answers my question.
He's only got 1 ring. McCarthy.
Yeah, well, Double B has.
You
still
had your favorite
has 6.
Rodgers there.
Next,
Okay.
yeah, well, Rodgers ain't
Cardinals-
there. Rodgers is trying to
All
be
right, Rob.
a coach. Rodgers is trying to be a coach now. Please.
I'll tell you what, the Cardinals had a great game plan for Dallas. They ran the ball at that defensive line, and they exposed that Dallas does not cover those gaps very well. They're still thinking too much about rushing the passer. And I think that's going to be a blueprint going forward. And I kind of suspected a couple of weeks ago that some team's going to have to try that, and Arizona did that. They did it very successfully. James Conner had a big day against the Cowboys rush defense. Dallas struggled on offense. They had 3 offensive linemen that are missing, 3 starters, including All-Pro Zach Martin.
Yeah, he was out last week.
He was out. Tyron Smith, and I think the center was out as well. I think they're sorry they got rid of Zeke Elliott. No, serious.
Way up in the middle of the air.
Zeke is playing in New England. And last year he was 17 for 31 on third down situations, and Dallas kind of doesn't have a third down option like they have with Zeke. So they're missing him. And then they get down in the red zone, and there are pass interceptions and there's pass interceptions.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes the receiver has it go out of his hands and somebody else catches it. Or the quarterback doesn't see somebody streaking for an interception. He doesn't see it. But that interception that Dak Prescott threw to the Cardinals, there were 3 guys. If the first Cardinal didn't get it, the second Cardinal would have got it, or the third Cardinal would have got it. It would have had to go through 3 people before it even got close to the Cowboy receiver. What was that thinking? That's the mother of all pass interceptions there. And they're trying to fix that problem with Dak. And he's not throwing interceptions, but that was horrible. I'm picking the upset. I think New England is going to be able to run at Dallas and force them to cover those gaps. That's going to give Mac Jones a little more time than you'd think, and I think New England pulls the upset. Keith?
Oh, and don't forget about Mac. Mac is the second groper. Didn't you hear what he did?
Tell us.
One of his best friend's mom.
Oh.
You should celebrate that, Michael. Come on now.
Oh, come on.
The Cougar Hunter, they call him.
Hopefully,
When he goes out on the field, they play the car song. I groped my best friend's mom.
No.
Stacy's mommy's got it going on.
Oh, that was 20. That year was the year of quarterbacks sleeping with Cougars because Zach Wilson got one of his mom's friends too.
He messed with two of his mom's friends.
That gained him respect until his first start for the Giants.
We had a football in his
Well, the
head,
Sauce isn't playing over there on Sunday, you know.
All right, Keith, what you got for us?
You know, this is a game where an upset is tempting because, you know, you got the Cardinals at least have some game film that Belichick can look at, and that's not the coach you really want to see. The ways that you can stop the Cowboy offense. Having said that, I just have a feeling that the Cowboy defense will play better this week and get more pressure in on New England's quarterback. I think it's just going to be, you know, Dallas will probably get a little bit more offense, and New England's probably going to make a couple more mistakes. So Dallas will win by probably 8 or 9 points.
Okay, Rob?
Yeah, man, it's like upset, some like 20 points. I'm kind of in the middle of things here, right here. I think Cowboys have got to play better, but I'm not sure the Patriots have what it takes to win this ball game. In Jerry Land, it's tough. It's going to be a tough one. I mean, we got to realize Cowboys lose on the road. Everything right here is pointing to a comeback. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I'm with a lot of the guys that say the Patriots are going to show up for this game. I don't think you're going to get blown out of the water. 27-20 Cowboys, though.
All right, most of us are on the Cowboys. Just myself out on a limb, which is I've been all night long.
Mike was with you. Mike's with you.
I'm with you. You think I'm going to root for You think I'm going to root for Jerry and Zach and Dak or whatever?
Jack and Zach.
Zach, and Dig.
I think you're trying to make a new PlayStation. Dak and Jack.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh boy!
Oh,
all right, well,
all right, how those Cardinals, man?
Cardinals look tough. Josh Dobbs, man, Cowboys made him look like a Pro Bowler. But not against the Niners. They're too good. The Niners aren't going to be tested for a while, I don't think. Especially, they're fairly healthy. They got Debo really involved last week. Ayuk, CMC.
You had to show that.
It's a tough team to beat. And I think they bring the Cardinals back down to earth this week.
Yeah, Samuel's got ribs, and Ayuk has obviously been hurt, but they should both be back this week. And then you add Kittle and McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy. He runs that offense really well, and it's easy to run it well when you have that many weapons. I think Arizona gets put back in their place this week.
Yeah. I say, all I have to say is in 4 words. Mr. Irrelevant is now Mr. Relevant. Possibly one of the top 5. Right. Possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. This team and Debo and even the kicking game is even better than the Cardinals' kicking game. Give me the 49ers big.
Okay, James Conner rushed for and Rondell Moore together rushed for
looks decent.
222 miles, 222 yards, against Dallas. But they're running against San Francisco. They're not going to get that kind of yardage against them. Still, I'm impressed with Arizona and their young people. I've said it for a couple of weeks. Teams tank, but the players don't, and the players are really putting on a show. I'm picking San Francisco. Keith?
Yeah, I respect how hard the Cardinals have been playing. I'm starting to wonder how the Commanders beat them in Week 1. Maybe because it was Week 1. Don't know if they could do it again. 49ers, though, haven't shown any real vulnerabilities yet. And so even if the Cardinals put up a spirited effort here, I still think the 49ers will probably win by, like the Rams did. I still think the 49ers will win by at least 12 to 14 points by the end of it.
Rob?
Yeah. The Cardinals played better than they really are. And the 49ers are the real deal. 42-14. This will be a ass whipping.
Okay, we are all on San Francisco.
Tim didn't go.
Oh, sorry, Tim.
That's okay, but yes, 49ers. I think they'll be the high point team for the week. I would not be surprised if we get a 50 burger in this game.
San Francisco 49ers. All right, the next game is the Sunday night game.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Who wants to go first?
Me.
You got it.
Yeah, let Michael go first.
Me. You
Go,
heard
Mike.
the story about Sauce, right?
Is he hot sauce or bad sauce?
No, grabbing Sauce.
Another Grover?
I didn't see that coming.
He did it to the quarterback last week, Mac Jones.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh, by the way, he is only going to be fined. He's not getting disciplined with suspension.
You did some gardening there or what?
I don't know, but let me tell you, he better not put his hands on Mahomes' junk. The most important question. Oh, and second thing about the great New York Jets. You heard who's their backup now? They got Travis Simeon.
Trevor Simean. Because he's the best of the worst.
No.
Yeah, might as well get Travis too, though.
Yeah. The third thing, it's gotten so bad with this team. Even one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history, the guy that led them to the Super Bowl, does not have a kind word to say about Zachy Poo. Okay? He ripped him to shreds. It's all over New York TV, radio, and all that. He ripped him to shreds. So, be that as it may, I think Kansas City will let them score maybe 10 points, while the best quarterback in the NFL probably score 40. The last thought I have is they were in New York. A, will Taylor show up? And B, how many times is the camera gonna be on that box that they're gonna be sitting in?
I say it's
having Taylor Swift here. I don't know who jumped higher after a Travis Kelce touchdown. If it was Taylor or Greg Olsen when he heard she was going to be at the stadium today. And of course, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce with their podcast New Heights. Travis had one of the best.
Will Taylor be there?
there was no goal. Chest bump right there.
Yeah,
that's a nice little chest bump for a female. I'm impressed.
We're thinking that's maybe one of her bodyguards. Yeah. She was in the Kelce family box. You know how they got her up there?
By using a popcorn. using
Kelsey's
the thing that
popcorn
holds the
site.
popcorn.
Yeah, that's how they
Talk
got
about
it.
Mike,
getting your popcorn ready.
to answer your question, Michael, there'll be more Taylor Swift shots than Zach Wilson has.
Oh, I agree. I agree totally. Over-under is going to be 10.
Well, Laura and I were watching that game, and it was so exciting to see that. You know, we've been following the rumors for about 3 weeks, and we thought it was like a business decision or something like that. But then when Mahomes got the touchdown to Kelsey, which he was staying in the game for that moment, he would have been out of the game much earlier, but he's waiting for his touchdown. Yeah, he gets his touchdown, and first thing happened, Lori says, "That's a girlfriend reaction." I think they are dating. They went to a restaurant in the plaza afterwards. Bought the place out, the top floor, and they were there until 2:00 in the morning. So it sounds like they're dating.
You know.
Well, let's talk about the football game.
Yeah.
In that game,
They'll probably be
Andy Reid. You never hear them talking about him for Coach of the Year, but I think he's doing a masterful job this year. There's quite a few issues going on here, but he got his victory that passes Tom Landry. I think he's the third all-time winningest coach now. But he's doing a great job. Those 2 tackles that we got, they're kind of a project. Juwan Taylor is a good pass blocker, not known to be a good run blocker. And then you know what Dan and I think about Donovan Smith last year. We talked about him all last year. We called him the holding guy every week. He's got abilities. He's got talent, and he can even run block when he's pushed into it. But did you notice, Dan, when we got to the 4-minute offense, the first guy to go down was Donovan Smith.
Yeah.
Get me
We
out
knew
of
that
here.
was coming.
Well, so what does Andy Reid do? Okay, Juwan Taylor's got a penalty problem again. And so, Donovan, go back in there. He's working it like a master. And Donovan did it, went back in there, and he got through the game better than he got through the other games. I think Andy's doing a good job with him. I don't know if it's going to be a Super Bowl kind of job. And so they're kind of working Prince Wanago in the background if he doesn't work out. But I think Andy Reid's doing a good job. Now, Patrick Mahomes passed 25,000 yards, fastest to 25,000 yards by 7 games. And then Travis Kelce had his moment. He had 48th touchdown pass, which makes him number 1.
I love Terrence McKinnon, what he did.
Passing Otis Taylor. If you remember Otis Taylor, he was the Chiefs receiver in the 60s. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and he passed away about 6 months ago. Kind of sad he didn't make it yet, but I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, my God.
So that's what I wanted to say about the Chiefs. I think they're not going to have a lot of trouble with New York. I think the Jets put all their eggs in one basket. They're going to have to live with it. They don't need to just fix the quarterback. That offensive line can't protect the quarterback. So whoever's back there, if even Aaron Rodgers was back there, I don't think the Jets would be winning because that offensive line can't keep people off their quarterback.
I want to see how many people say, I want to see who shows up more, the Jet fans or the Swifties. And we know the answer to that question.
It will probably be Swifties.
The Swifties, that's right.
Kelsey's feed, I think within 3 hours, picked up his Facebook account, picked up like 300,000 followers in 3 hours after that.
I want to see how many of them know any. I want to see how many Jet fans know Taylor Swift songs.
Keith.
Keith?
Might be fun counting sacks and interceptions from the Chiefs this week. There's no way the Jets are going to compete in this game. There's no way. Chiefs win big.
Rob?
Yeah. Man, Jets, they can't score on decent defenses, and Chiefs have a better than decent defense, 38-12. That's being nice. I think he could for 40 burner. Yeah.
Oh, you feel sorry for NBC.
Well, they'll have plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Especially if Taylor shows up.
And Mike Tirico will have to bust out his best stories.
Yes. He's good.
You know what? I'm gonna just for poops and
Just for
giggles. I'm gonna
grins?
pick a scoregami score here: 45-15.
But he's taking the Jets.
Which
Oh,
Tim
yeah.
told everybody there were
I'm taking the Chiefs.
there were two scoregami scores last week. Tim.
Oh, the two scoregamis: the 70-20 for the Dolphins and the Dolphins, and then the Eagles game last night was a scoregami. 25-11.
Yeah.
Dan?
Well, I think you guys said it. It's not a tough game to pick. I've got the Chiefs. Wilson just doesn't look good enough to do much of anything. I like that the Chiefs are trying to develop the young receivers. They're looking a lot more solid than they did in week one. I'm looking at Rice and Sky Moore to take big steps forward for them. The tackle situation is going to be ongoing. I mean, that they're going to be fighting that all year. So I don't think they have to worry about this week, but we'll see what happens going forward. Chiefs all the way.
Anthony?
Yeah, you know, I'm a BYU guy, but my God, Zach. It's troublesome because he has elite skills, but he's got a high,
When
he's
he's
got a
not
high
pressured.
school. Huh?
When he's not pressured.
He said,
There's pressure. I
But
think, is
if you watch him, he doesn't progress quick. He can't read defenses, and he's to the
He
point
can
now where he won't even throw in a tight window because he has no confidence. You know.
You talking about Justin Fields?
Huh?
You talking about Justin Fields?
No, we're talking about the great Zach.
Oh, because that's the same criticisms of him.
No, that
Yeah,
was
I can't wait to
definitely
see.
a unstellar year for quarterbacks with him, Lance, and Fields. But anyway, I couldn't believe the line was only 9.5 for Kansas City.
9.5?
Yes.
Could be 14.
I couldn't jump on that quick enough to bet. But yeah, I think it's an easy win for the Chiefs. And by next week, we might see Joe Namath actually back in the pocket for New York.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So is
Even
there gonna be
Richard Todd.
that Pepsi commercial
Rick-
come
the
to
great
life when all the
Richard
retired
Todd.
players come back to play?
For
What
Ken
about the great
O'Brien.
Ken O'Brien?
Yeah, get him and Richard Todd to come back in.
The great Ken O'Brien.
Or
Oh,
maybe Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
With
This
the
is
butt
going to
cover.
be good.
only one Monday night game this week. That's the Seattle Seahawks 2-1, and Giants are 1-2.
Oh,
Who's first on this?
Am I
go
first
ahead,
one?
Brian.
Bart.
I had that whole.
Anthony or Brian, either one can go.
I'll go. Yeah, the Seahawks, 12th man showed up for Seattle. I think there were 8 false starts called in that game. So they did the job. I like Seattle's offense. It's balanced. They can run the ball with Kenny Walker. Geno Smith is better than average quarterback, and he's playing okay. The Giants, man, they've taken a big step backwards from last year. They've been outscored in the first half, 63-6, something like that.
Yep.
I don't see the Giants getting well this week. I think Seattle wins up there with the 12th man. Keith?
Yeah, and if the Giants didn't have that huge comeback against the Cardinals in the week 2 in the second half, they'd be winless right now. I don't see them beating the Seahawks. I think Seattle's just playing a steadier game of football. Give me the Seahawks.
Rob?
Jones sucks. Seahawks 31, Giants 18.
18.
Tim?
You have that much faith?
Yeah, I just think that the Giants they're a house of cards right now. So give me the Seahawks.
Dan?
Yeah, the Giants aren't even interested in protecting Daniel Jones at this point.
I know.
I mean, there's a couple plays they're just forgetting to block primary rushers repeatedly throughout games, and you just feel bad for the guy. He had a tough year last year, got hit more times than I've seen a quarterback get hit since David Carr.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
And they made the playoffs. But this year it's gone the other way. Not enough weapons, just not enough anywhere, really. And even Dayball can't coach his way out of this wet paper bag of a team. Seahawks, they've got great receivers. Walker is electric running the ball. And that young defense is starting to kind of pick it up a little. But they don't need to play that well with an offense like that. Give me the Seahawks.
Anthony?
I think you guys have been too hard on the Giants. They do have the best quarterback in the state of New York right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
No,
27 other
I'll
states.
give it-
Allen is
I'll
better.
say Allen. I'll take Josh Allen. I'll take. Josh
Oh, you
Allen.
know what? I meant
In
the
New Jersey, maybe.
city of New York.
Yeah, you're thinking Jersey. Yeah.
Who's the best quarterback?
Joycey.
Okay, who's the best quarterback in Colorado?
Gee.
That's not saying much.
Jadar Sanders, a lot of people think, and a lot of
Who
people
is-
like Colorado
Who is
State
what's-
quarterback.
who is number 3's backup at Denver?
Oh,
I think Sanders is better than Russell Wilson.
Now who's
Oh,
his
who's his
backup? Who's
backup?
Russell's
Oh, I don't
backup?
know. I don't know.
Wilson.
Teddy Bridgewater.
He might be the best quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater.
Wilson's quarterback rating is pretty good right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't say much.
But that's all garbage
No.
time stats. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Unfortunately, yeah, New York is a dumpster fire. So I am going with Seattle pretty easy here.
All right, Michael, tell us why the Giants are going to win.
Oh, please! Who's gonna have more fans? The Swifties on Sunday night or the Giant fans on Monday? You know what? I'm a huge Giant fan, but you know what?
Yeah.
There's something better than that game, and we all know if people know me, we know what's gonna be on my TV Monday night.
Wrestling.
Right, WWC.
WWE Raw.
Seattle.
And we're still about 2 weeks away from Jade Cargill, even though she was in the
No,
PC today.
she signed today.
Well, she's at the PC today.
Yeah, no.
What kind of wrestling does Deshaun Watson do, Michael?
Oil wrestling.
Mr. Groper. He probably doesn't do much of
Hot
anything.
oil wrestling. Yeah.
Tim, you heard the latest cuts, right? They're going to be happening.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
WWE cutting a whole bunch of people so they can sign people.
They got six. They said 6 people are going to be gone by the end of the week.
All right.
Johnny
So now
Gargano.
are we going to do locks before college or college and then locks?
Oh boy,
We
there's
can do
some
the
choices.
Last week, Rob had KC. That was good. Harris had San Francisco. That was good. Brian had Miami.
Oh,
That was super duper.
you gotta get the 10-bell salute there.
Steve, you want to tell us who you had? Dallas.
Oh yeah, Dallas.
So we were 3-1 in our locks.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first on the locks?
Whoever missed last week and whoever wasn't
All
here.
I was not here last week, so I'll go
Was I
and
the
take
one that
first
had
dibs.
Dallas last week?
Yeah, you had Dallas, so you can go too. Go for it, Tim.
I could take the low-hanging fruit, but I'm not going to do that. Ow.
Take your money.
Okay, I'll take the second low-hanging fruit. I'll take the Eagles.
Who's next? Oh, Dan wasn't here.
So tell me, can you use the same team twice in a year or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or you can?
Sure.
Give me the
You just can't
Niners.
use a pick team of the week.
Oh yeah. You don't.
Yep, Niners for me.
Oh yeah.
I will swoop right in and snatch that low-hanging fruit, Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael?
And for me, oh boy, I got to do it. Seattle.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm looking at Philadelphia.
That could have been the third.
Somebody
one.
else got the Eagles already.
Oh,
Tim did.
I'm not looking at Philadelphia. It's getting tough, guys. Let's see.
It's not as tough as you think.
I like Cleveland.
Okay.
See?
Oh, jeez. I'll try Dallas again. I'll go with them.
Ooh.
Rob?
Oh,
Yeah, Vike.
oh man! Somebody just left the door wide.
Rob!
Nobody took your Broncos. I'm taking the Broncos. Yeah, I think it's a lot.
Yeah, nobody took the Vikings either. I considered it.
I wasn't
No,
thinking.
I'll take your Broncos. Anytime the Bears, whoever's playing the Bears, nobody takes them. That's a lock. I'll take them.
Good bet.
Okay, that concludes the pro section of this. I take the top 10 college games, and we take them in the order pretty much the order that they're played. And so far in the colleges, everybody's got, most of these are easy picks. 24-3. Keith, you're 23-4. Harris 15-3. Rob 16-2. There's two friends of the channel that give me picks. Bruins fan 16-2. Matt McClellan 17-1. And Anthony is 9-1, and Tim's 8-2. This week we start with a Friday game. That's going to be a pretty good game. Pac-12 Utah at Oregon State.
You don't want us to just give you the game and just give you the winning team and roll with it since it's a few games still to go?
Yeah, you can say something about why you think they're going to win or something like that. But yeah.
Utah big 38-24.
Yeah, Oregon State might have been a little bit of a fluke to kind of start Utah, put them in their place, I think.
Utah, all the way.
Yeah, they still don't have Rising back, but that defense might be one of the best in the NCAA. So Utah.
You.
The Utes?
The Utes.
Couple Utes.
The two Utes involved were.
Utah, and then I said that leaves me. I think Utah's got a pretty good defense, better than Oregon State.
Actually, I haven't picked yet. I'll go with Utah though, just so.
Okay. Utah's got a pretty good defense, and I think defense plays on the road. This game's at Oregon State, who are ranked 19 themselves. They got a decent quarterback, Oregon State. Ugalele's at 828 yards, 7 touchdowns. The running back's good. Damian Martinez, 432 yards, averaging 7.5 yards per carry. The Utah's defense, I think, is outstanding, led by Jonah Ellis, 5.5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. I'm going with Utah, but I think it's going to be a pretty tight game. I think it's going to be very interesting. Next game is Penn State at Northwestern.
At Northwestern? Wow.
Go for it, Tim.
Wow. Fortunately, Penn State can't put up 63, but I like Penn State big.
Yeah, Penn State should beat Northwestern pretty easy, in my opinion.
Agree. Northwestern had their moment last week. Penn State big.
Well, it's not a whiteout game, but go Nittany.
Okay. Yeah, Northwestern, they've kind of fallen off the cliff. They had to fire their coach, Pat Fitzgerald, last year because of recruiting violations and hazing allowed. David Braun is the new head coach. Penn State's offense is 15th in the country. Their defense is 5th in the country. Drew Alar is an outstanding quarterback. They got too much for Northwestern. The game won't be close. Penn State. Heath?
Yeah, Penn State. Maybe I don't know if they can get another shutout, but they'll win. Big.
Okay, next game is.
Did you pick that one?
Did everybody pick?
Yeah.
I did.
I think
44-17.
Rob, 44-17.
Penn State kicked their ass.
Done that time.
Yeah. Stomps them.
Okay, the next games This was Penn State game is 11 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Next game is USC at Colorado. That's going to be on Fox.
Oh,
That's 11 o'clock Eastern time.
Before Dan.
Yeah. Well, Colorado, great start to the season. They kind of got punched in the mouth. I think they're going to have it happen again. Give me SC. They've got guys all over the place, and I don't know that Colorado's defense without Hunter is going to be able to keep up.
Anthony?
Colorado has top 20 skill players, and they have mid-tier G5 line on both sides of the ball. So I think they'll score a little bit on USC, who doesn't always play defense, but should be a big USC win.
Michael?
Oscar, I'm going the other way. Prime time! Prime time! Give me Colorado.
All right, Laura and I were watching that game last Saturday, and we both looked at each other and said, if they had about 6 more linemen with some size, they could probably play because they've got speed. Travis Hunter wants to play. Primetime says no, not with a lacerated liver. He's going to be out a few more weeks. Mm-hmm. I do think Colorado gets some points in this game, but I don't see how they could beat Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is at 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And he's got
the over-under on that game is 73.5. Do they top that?
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's got receivers to throw to. Washington, Marshawn Lloyd is the running back. He's averaging 8.9 yards a carry, 349 yards. Deion Sanders says, "You better get me now." USC is going to get him, but we'll see how the recruiting goes. Keith?
Yeah, I just think the teams like USC, Oregon, a lot of teams in the big schools are going to have an advantage on both sides of the line, and involve a running game somewhat. You can pound on the defensive line. You can probably get them tired early. But something tells me USC's probably got enough firepower. Even if they don't do that, they probably win this game pretty easy.
Rob?
2.5 quarters of excitement. I'm telling you, Colorado keeps it within a touchdown for almost 3/4 of this game. USC spreads it out at the end, 48-31. Play the over.
Nobody wants to go prime time like me.
No, definitely not.
Tim will.
No, I'm not. I am not doing the Deion.
High scoring game, low scoring game, Tim.
Oh, it'll be high scoring. I wouldn't doubt if it's like 62-31 or something like that.
Thanks.
100 points.
That's a college football score right there.
All right, our next game is.
Hold on, Dan, did you take a pick yet?
Yeah, Dan. What? Yeah, it's
okay.
USC first.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Kansas and Texas. Yikes.
Kansas is 24. Kansas moves into 24 ranked, and Texas is 3. Don't forget, Kansas beat Texas at Texas a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. Not last year. Texas Santana was up and they slaughtered Kansas. But this could be a game. We'll see. Who wants to go first?
Anthony's turn.
Yeah, Texas has kind of been playing to the level of their competition. God, I'm always tempted to go upset here. Kansas has a dynamic quarterback, good dual threat guy, but I think overall team talent, Texas should get it.
Michael?
This is too easy. This one's too easy for me. You said Kansas won 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We'll go Longhorns. They got Oklahoma coming up soon.
2 quarterbacks in this game, Daniels and Quinn Ewers, are going to be fun to watch, both of those guys. Kansas, I think they don't have enough team speed on defense. They're tough. They'll hit you, but they're not as tough as Texas. Texas and the interior line is super tough. They've got a guy named Byron Murphy. I think he might be a first-round draft pick coming up next year. I think it could be an interesting game. They lost 54-14 last year. I don't think it won't be that bad. I think Texas wins, but I think it could be a good game.
Was it the Big 18 next year or something like that?
Although my high school team was the Jayhawks, that isn't going to lead me to pick Kansas. I'm going to go with Texas to win this one.
Rob?
Texas favored by 17. I ain't got a problem with that. 44-21. Yeah. Wizard of Oz is coming out. They're not in Kansas anymore.
No, they're not.
Tim?
Part of me wants to go with Kansas on this one, but I just can't. I'll go with the Longhorns.
I went with Colorado.
Yeah, I can't buck the trend there. It's got to be Texas. They're too fast. The defense is going to be something that KU's not going to have a lot of answers for, and they can put up points. Texas in an easy one.
Anthony?
Anthony went first.
Yeah, Texas.
Be Mike's turn first on the next one.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be good, Mike said.
Oh, it's going to be good. Thank God I have.
It's got to be Michigan, the West Coast team, the best team.
It's got to be
in
Florida and Kentucky.
I had, I'm sorry, I wrote down.
Hey, I had nobody coming from east to west.
Okay, we could do Michigan next.
Oh, we can do that great West Coast team. Give me H.
I'm putting up Michigan, Nebraska.
Oh my God, my nephew graduated from Nebraska. That doesn't help. That doesn't help much. Wolverine's big.
Michigan, okay. JJ McCarthy, all he needs to do is protect the ball. I think they should be on upset alert. Nebraska is struggling, but they've got some players. They're averaging 234 yards rushing per game, but they also allow a lot of rushing. So Blake Corum should get a lot of yards for Michigan. I'm picking Michigan in this.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Michigan, but I think Nebraska could keep this a little more, surprisingly close, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Rob?
Yeah, Michigan's favored by 18. I don't see it. I do not see it. I think it stays a one run game, a one score game until 5 minutes left to go in the game. I really think Nebraska shows what they can do here. They're going to lose the ball game, but they're not losing by 18. 35-23.
Tim?
Oh, Michigan big.
Dan?
Yeah, I've got Michigan. I think they just do the things that Nebraska does well better than Nebraska does. They should beat them pretty easy.
And Anthony?
Yeah, I think Matt Rule will build Nebraska into something. It's going to take him a few years, so Michigan in this one.
Yeah, he really hasn't had a recruiting class. Yeah. All right, next game, I got Georgia at Auburn. That's a 2:30 game on CBS. Georgia's ranked number 1.
You're up first, Brian.
Yeah.
Carson Beck, I think, has a chance to be better than our quarterback last year. He's rolling along. I think they got a first-round draft pick at tight end with Brock Bowers. 260 yards so far with 3 touchdowns. Georgia's defense ranked 10 in the country. They'll probably get better as we go along. Auburn has had a tougher schedule so far. But they got a below-average quarterback, and they can't decide who's going to run the football. They got 6 guys around 100 yards. It's really a running back by committee. I'm picking Georgia in this game.
Yeah, I'm not going to go against Georgia. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. Win. Georgia.
Rob?
Hugh Freeze, what did you walk into, buddy? You left Liberty. and they are ready to ship your ass out of Auburn already. 48-17. This is going to be an ass whipping in Auburn.
Tim?
Rob, you couldn't have said any better. Give me Georgia.
Dan?
Not going to overthink this. Georgia, better team.
And Anthony?
I agree 100%, Georgia.
And Michael?
And I'm going to stay with the trends. Go with the Bulldogs. Woof.
Georgia. Okay, the next game, I got Oregon.
Hey, Larry.
And Stanford.
Stanford? Oh, Lord.
Keith?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, who's that? Stanford?
Oregon.
Yeah, I just made this helmet. They change the uniform every 5 minutes, but this is
Okay.
one that they've been going with.
Yeah, Stanford doesn't look very impressive at all this year, so I'll go with Oregon.
Rob?
Yeah, Oregon's playing on the road. That just means they won't hit 60. 51-14. Oregon beats Stanford.
Tim?
Yeah, Andrew Luck's not walking out of that locker room soon, at least as a player. Give me Oregon big.
Dan?
Yep. I might bet that line or that score, Rob. That sounds about right to me. Give me Oregon.
Anthony?
Oregon's going to have a big emotional letdown after the game last week, but that's still going to be good enough to beat Stanford by 40. Oregon.
Stanford, is going to be the last of the Pac-4, is it going to be?
No, down to 2 now.
2.
Oregon State and
The Tupac. Might as well call him.
Maybe I can have a rivalry game. Whoopee!
Tupac. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
But
eyes
you
on
know
them.
what?
All eyes on them.
I'm not even worried. Oregon's going to win. It's what color uniforms is Phil going to have for them.
That's what we should be betting on. What color,
That's right.
what color uniform they're coming out with? Yeah.
Well, that's already known. That's kind of you can go on.
Yeah. By the time we get
find
to that. Stanford hasn't played anybody. They got one win over Hawaii. It's going to be a blowout. Bo Nix has got 1,169 yards, 11 touchdowns, one interception. Oregon's got a very good offensive line as well. And their defensive line is led by 6'6" Jordan Birch. Got 3 sacks, 4 for tackles for losses. I think Oregon's going to blow out Stanford. So we're all on Oregon. Last game in the top 10 is there's 2 teams that's off. Ohio State is off. Florida State's not playing. We got to do the Washington and Arizona game.
Thank God, because I kind of need a week off after that game, and thank God that the 11th man didn't show up on defense for Notre Dame.
You're not even going to where game day is going to be.
Oh, they're at.
I know where they're going.
They've been at Durham this week against.
Yeah, they're at Durham. Yeah.
Duke playing Notre Dame. Yeah.
Tim, that Notre Dame game, it was close until Ryan Day outcoached Freeman. There were 2 or 3 matchups that he set up on that last drive for big gains. And then, like you said, the last 2 plays, they had 10 men on the field.
Three down linemen in a goal line set. I've never seen that before. That's crazy, but that's the way they had it.
Rob,
This game is Washington and Arizona. Who's first?
Rob.
Laugher. Total laugher. I think it's the number 1 team in the country. I really do. I think on any field in the country, they can beat Ohio State, Georgia, USC, Texas, Oklahoma. I like Washington, 66-17.
Oh, I just got a memo, a note that says Taylor Swift seen leaving Kansas City 2 days after attending the Chiefs game. Well, apparently it was a sleepover too.
Where in the world is Taylor Swift headed?
So we can assume
gotta
Travis
start practicing with Taylor
Kelce
Swift
scored
songs.
more than the Jets are going to score. Then, right? Got to stay there.
Let's just say that Kelsey might hit the 5-hole better than the Islanders.
Oh, Bazinga! Well, you guys have enough trouble in Columbus, though. Don't talk about it.
I like Bill Belichick's quote. Travis Kelce's made a lot of great catches in this game, but this will be his greatest catch.
That's right. His greatest catch ever.
Yeah.
Facebook post: Jimmy Garoppolo says, "I can't wait to see the Taylor Swift face shots this week."
Yeah.
That is so wrong. So wrong.
Anyway, I will say this though, not to be this game, but let's hope that Marvin Harrison can shake it off in 2 weeks. 36 yards receiving. Good Lord. Let's see if whoever has enough firepower on defense to do this. But Washington could have that firepower, and I will take them large over Arizona.
Okay, Dan?
Yep, Arizona struggled with Stanford. Washington's a much better team. Give me the Huskies.
Anthony?
Yeah, Washington to me is really a team that could make the college football playoffs. They get both Oregon and USC. If they come out of that, I mean, they're definitely a shoe. And I think Penix is as good as any quarterback in the country. So it'll be a blowout for Huskies.
Yeah, Penix once again leads in yards, 1,636 yards, 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Michael?
I gotta go with Washington. They're probably number 2 or 3 or whatever. And Tim, your Blue Jackets are having enough problems already for the NHL to start.
I only have them about 75 points, which is still over what FanDuel gave them, 73 and a half.
And a new coach.
Yeah, but they hired Mark Ruckey as an assistant, so that can't hurt.
Ugh, disgraceful.
Arizona is 3-1 under their coach Jeff Fish. They're allowing against the majors. They're allowing 20 points per game, and they got a quarterback, Jalen DeLora, 1,069 yards passing with 9 touchdowns. But Washington's got too much, both on offense and on defense. And I'm kind of with Rob. I'm not sure they're the number 1 team yet, but they're going to keep moving up the polls. They're solid.
Yeah,
Keith?
And I think Washington's a playoff team, so I think they'll roll over Arizona.
Man, that's terrible.
There's going to be other interesting top 25 games. We're not picking these games, but you got Notre Dame at Duke. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I would go with Duke.
I think it'll be a close game, but I'm with Notre Dame on that.
I like Notre Dame big in that game. Duke does not have a defensive firepower to hang in there with them. I don't think he can.
South Carolina's at Tennessee. It could be a game.
Yeah, South Carolina and Tennessee's double-digit favorites, and they got beat by 30 last year by the same team.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Was that after Hooker got hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, still that Hooker ain't there now, so I don't
Another
see how
interesting
that
game is Alabama and Mississippi State.
Yep.
Alabama kind of shows some signs of starting to put it together. We'll see.
Alabama.
The Mississippi State had played better against LSU, maybe, but
Alabama.
Yeah, it's going to be Alabama.
Let's see. LSU at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I like Ole Miss.
I go with LSU.
LSU's favorite, but I like Ole Miss. I like that quarterback they got. Brian Kelly doesn't thrill me either.
Yeah, I'll go with LSU.
I'll take Ole Miss.
Who's Liberty playing?
Are
they going to show? Are people going to show up?
The Camels. I don't know who they're
Oh
playing.
God, really?
I don't.
Who does Incarnate Word play?
Liberty's got to continue.
Incarnate Word put 70 on the board the other day.
Yeah.
No. Liberty is off this week.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, okay.
Liberty has Liberty has Jake Roberts' brother Sam Houston next week.
They played, they played the FU the first week, and then Buffalo, and then New Mexico State. Those powerhouse teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been following.
Sam Houston next week.
I've been following Missouri. They're playing Vanderbilt this week. Missouri's up to 23. And I like their quarterback, Brady Cook. He's showing some character, and he's a very accurate passer. Missouri beat Florida.
You don't hear much of East Coast football.
Blowout. I think that's a blowout right there.
Yeah, I do too.
Jackson State. Was that what's his name's old school?
That's Walter Payton's old school. Yeah.
Liberty's going down there to play.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Maybe he'll score 50.
By the way, Incarnate Word is also off this week.
Oh yeah,
but they put up the 63 points on North American University.
The Scrabble match got 18 by a triple word the other day. So that was
North American they just beat.
Yeah, they must have played a lot of bingos at the Scrabble. That's bingos.
Yeah, North American University.
NAU.
You don't know where that's at. You got to look it up. North American.
I think it's in Texas.
Oklahoma plays Iowa State. I think if they get a big win, Oklahoma's going to start moving closer to the top 10. Not yet, but they're getting closer.
Oh, they
big win just because they're not playing in Ames. I like 20 points by Oklahoma.
What's the name of the quarterback?
Texas.
Gabriel.
Or hold on, Stafford, Texas. North American University is in Texas.
Just in case you want to know.
Florida, Kentucky. How about Florida, Kentucky?
Yeah, three undefeated teams in the SEC still. Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri.
Yep. Not after this week.
Lord.
Florida beats Kentucky.
I'm looking at the referee assignments for week 4.
What's the highest, Brian, that you think your Missouri team could move up in the polls?
They're good.
They're pretty good, but their defense is good. They actually beat Georgia like 2 or 3 years ago. So they've got a good coach. I like their coach. I don't see them getting into the top 10. I think they might get close, but I don't think they'll get top 10.
Do you think they make it to the SEC championship out from West? SEC West.
What do you think, Dan?
I don't think so. There's too much. They're going to pick up 2 or 3 losses.
They beat K-State.
Yeah, but K-State's unranked, and
I like them. I still think Alabama's going to lose again. I think LSU's going to lose, and I think A&M. I like Missouri, man. I really think they're going to go to the SEC championship.
The SEC absolutely screwed Missouri when they went to the SEC. They destroyed all their rivalries. They took out the Illinois game. They played St. Louis. They didn't put them together with Arkansas. And now their kids got to go all the way to the East Coast every time they play a road game.
But Missouri plays
kind of had to put it back together. But
West Coast, East Coast. Oh, yay!
What'd you
Missouri's
say,
in the East. Missouri's in the Eastern Division.
Yeah, they put Missouri in the Eastern.
Really? That's really wrong.
They screwed them. They absolutely screwed them.
Okay, so now all bets are off then. We got
Georgia there.
Yeah. Even though I don't think Georgia's the number 1 team in the country, I think they're going to lose a game. But something just tells me nobody in the SEC goes without losing a game this year. I just think everybody's going to beat everybody up. That's my opinion.
Then next year will be 18 teams, right?
Oh, another guy to watch on Missouri is that Luther Burden, number 3. He's fast.
And there ain't no other team, ain't hardly a team west of Missouri playing in the SEC, and they're east.
Have they yet announced how the divisions are going to break down after Texas and Oklahoma join? Is Missouri going to be moved to the West?
Yeah, it's divisionless.
I think Alabama's going east.
Oh, no divisions?
It's going to be divisions, but they're going to change them up.
And I think Missouri is going to go in the West. I think
Missouri's going west. I think Alabama and
Auburn go east.
Maybe, yeah. Auburn's already. Are they already east?
No.
Okay.
No, they're
makes sense.
That's to me would make the most sense to move Alabama and Auburn to the east, and then let Texas,
Then you're
Oklahoma, and Missouri.
gonna have
being the
flights. Then you're gonna have flights all year with Auburn, Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. That will be brutal.
Guys, we lost Michael Peterson. If people are dropping dead, maybe we should close this show.
Yep.
We're over 2 hours.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate
Yeah, thanks
it.
for joining us. Thank you, Larry, for joining
No
us. Lori, wish us a happy 4th week for everybody.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
good night.
Good night.
No.